It's Memorial Day. And you know, that's a special time in our hearts. You know, in the Mexican culture, they have Day of the Dead. We don't really, well, we kind of have Halloween. It's a little different. But I do think it is a very important thing for us to set a time to remember our losses. And so this is our In Memoriam night, appropriately on Memorial Day. Before we get started with tonight's program, I do have one quick announcement. If you purchased or if you need to pay for a silent auction item, Mary Beth is going to be over here with an iPad and she will be happy. I think we have something like 4 items left that haven't been paid for and picked up. And so if you're one of those people, she'll be happy to help you. The other thing I wanted to mention is that we have luminaries, in case you haven't noticed them. But if you want, you can go over to the table, pick up a luminary, write the name of whoever you want to remember and add it. And if you want to make a donation, that would be great too. We'll happily give you a luminary for a donation in remembrance. And so that's an important part of the evening. This has been an interesting program to plan. And I am just so thankful because it took a lot of thought and a lot of coordination. And Tom Prasada-Rao, when we contacted him and said, you know, would you be interested in hosting this? Not only did he host, but he invited these artists, and we had 2 or 3 Zoom calls planning our set and all of those kind of things. And I'm just so grateful for him, for his sister Patty that's helping him backstage as cat wrangler, and all the artists that are here tonight. So right now, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Tom Prasada-Rao.
We gather here to remember our fallen soldiers and all those we have lost to war. We gather here to remember all those that were slain at the Tulsa massacre almost exactly 101 years ago today. We gather here to remember a grocery store in Buffalo. We gather here to remember 19 school children and 2 teachers in a town a stone's throw away. We gather here to remember 50 years of this family of choice that we have created. We gather here to relive the glory of our youth and to retell these stories that we will pass on to the next generation, a mythology of our own making. We gather here to strengthen this society we built on the premise, this premise, that the song is more powerful than the sword, and that this will be a haven for all those who create them. We gather here in this place because there's no other place on the planet that feels like our shared holy ground. We gather here tonight to pay tribute to our brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, heroes, lifelong partners, and friends. We gather here to remember those who have slipped away in the past few pandemic years while we have been unable to properly say goodbye. We gather here because this is the place where we still hear them whispering in the wind. May their songs always be sung. So tonight is a night of remembering. And so I've been on a path of remembering myself, creating this event tonight. I remember the first time I was on this ranch. It was Memorial Weekend, 1993. I didn't know anything about how it worked or who was who and who to pay attention to and who not to. But when I heard this guy sing, I knew I had found songwriter heaven. Please welcome Steve Fisher doing an original song called Memorial Day.
Thank you, Tom. Man, how many beautiful faces, and what an honor to get to be asked to be part of this. I've said this before. Y'all that have heard this song and heard the story, I'll make it quick because there's a lot that's going to be said and sung tonight. But 15, 16 years ago, Blair Powell wrote me a letter and said, I've just got one request, and that's that you sing at my memorial. And I said, I'm not asking you to write me a song, just sing at my memorial. Well, I wrote him a song, and I came down and sang the song here at a memorial, but I couldn't keep singing that song. So I wrote him a second song about coming down here to sing the first song. And it's for Blair Powell, a lovely man, a dear, dear friend, and Memorial Day, here we are. Glad you all came out. I'll try to remember it all. But you can't take the train to Tulsa anymore. Can't pull your rope to ferry a boat across the Rio Grande. Harder these days than it ever was before to live your life like a simple man. Now this whole world's changing, boys. I guess you gotta let it go. But it's the losing of your loved ones, one by one, that takes a toll. And now Texas is calling me. If I can find a way, there's some place I said I'd be, with the song I said I'd sing, come Memorial Day. Now I've been trying to remember how I used to get around. I was up and down the road, I was coast to coast, till I finally slowed down. Now I ain't saying my fire burned out, I ain't saying that I've been laying low, for I have not taken my head out of the clouds, no, I've just been hanging a little closer to home. And now Texas is calling me. If I can find a way, there's some place I said I'd be, with this song I said I'd sing, come Memorial Day. Yeah, I've been trying to remember just a few things I once knew. You get caught up in the chase, gonna be hard to run your own race, boys. It's simple, but it's true. So I keep my angel on my dashboard, and she keeps a watch a little further on down the road. And I got your medicine bag, and it's hanging from my rear view, so I can hear you no matter how loud the wind blows. Now Texas is calling me. If I can find a way, there's some place I said I'd be. With this song I said I'd sing come Memorial Day. There's some place I said I'd be. With the song I said I'd sing come Memorial Day. Come Memorial Day. Come this Memorial Day.
Steve Fisher. So I meant to suggest to you, if you feel like singing along, please do. Let's practice. Let us go to the banks of the ocean, where the walls rise above the Zuyder Zee. Long ago, I used to be a young man, and dear Margaret remembers that for me. Well, that's the most famous song by a man that Rolling Stone magazine called the greatest living songwriter in the English language. His name is Michael Smith, and he has graced these stages here at Kerrville quite a number of times in the past. Tonight we have one of his good friends and co-writers and mentors. Actually,
no, he
was your mentor.
Yeah.
Got that wrong. Anyway, we're not going to hear the Dutchman tonight, but I expected to hear around the campfires later on tonight. Please welcome Bernice Lewis doing a totally different Michael Smith song.
Thank you, Mike. So I just want to tell y'all that one of the things when Michael was struggling and people were asking him, what he wanted his legacy to look like and if he wanted his songs to be covered after he was gone, and his main request was that we use the right chords. And it's at least 30 and maybe more years ago that I said to him, I want to play that song. And he sat down in a field in the sun in the summer in Rochester, New York, and he taught me the chords to this song. He did not teach me the names of these chords. That took a lot longer. Some of them I just learned yesterday. Anyway, go ahead and sing along to this if you can. This might be the only song tonight that isn't really all that sad. It's a cheerful little number about death. You ready? Oh, Mr. Tut, what good's it do? They love your chair, but nobody cares for you. Egyptian nights were never colder. Oh, now your friends are thousands of years older. Whatever happened to that gang down by the Sphinx? Seems they're only 40 winks away. Hey, those girls in Cairo with their belly button jewels made you play the fool yesterday. And now you keep in shape with Elmer's glue, 'cause you're all wrapped up in them dead Egyptian blues. Oh, Mr. Tut, They love the mask, yeah. Do they love ya, honey, sweetheart? Don't ask. Where's those baby browns and that pearly smile? That smile drove 'em wild by the early Nile. You make one terrific hieroglyphic, don't you, bro? Centuries of standing sideways turned you to a pro. Those girls in Cairo who filled your heart with lust, they've all turned to dust yesterday. And those bandages don't do that much for you, 'cause you're all wrapped up in them dead Egyptian blues. Camp Rockman, y'all. Oh, Mr. Tut, they love the tomb. All that gold leaf brightens up the room. But what's the diff if you're a stiff? What riff they're playing? Your ears have spent 5,000 years decaying. What does it matter what possessions you may boast when you're just a ghost? It's only jive, Clive. Your sarcophagus is glowing, but your esophagus is showing. Who cares how rich you are, love? Still look like Boris Karloff. Call Nautilus, they might even refund your dues. Oh, you're all wrapped up in them dead Egyptian blues. How about Beth Gallagher, huh? One more little verse. Oh, Mr. Tut, you wait and see. Another few thousand years, they're gonna dig up me. And I'll have all my little treasures here at hand. CD of Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. A little Maui Wowie dried out, crumbled in a bong. Letter from my honey saying, love ya, kid, so long. Some peanut butter sandwiches, long return to sand. Oh, not much gold or silver, but Tut, I think you'll understand that in my way I'll be just like you, all wrapped up in them dead Egyptian blues. All wrapped up, all wrapped up, all wrapped up in them dead Egyptian blues. Thank you all so much.
Bernice Lewis. Well, Chuck Pyle was a gentle giant known as the Zen Cowboy. That moniker perfectly captured his rugged looks, but his gentle ways. He was known, especially among guitar players, for having the best right hand in the business. Nobody could duplicate his technique or come close to playing what he played. And I'm proud that my friend Bill Nash is going to be here tonight. He's a personal hero of mine for struggling through adversity and creating beauty in his world. And he's going to do a song that he co-wrote with Chuck Pyle a long time ago that became a mainstay of Chuck Pyle's sets. It's called When I Was in Love.
Thank you.
Big hands for Bill Nash.
Thanks, everybody. I got to thank Scott Taylor, my friend, for giving me a Chuck Pyle hat. What else would I wear, you know? I wanted to tell you a little bit about this. Chuck saw me do this song in a contest in Richardson, Texas, at the Wildflower Festival back in 2003, and he fell in love with this song. And it followed him for years. And then one day I got a phone call from his agent. John McVeigh was running it then, and he said, Chuck wants to do your song, but he wants to change it a little bit. I said, okay, can I see the words? And I got the words, and it was acceptable to me. He changed my When I Was in Love song to When You Were in Love. So I learned it this last week. I'm going to try and do it. I got to put my glasses on because I'm old. Thank you. That's better. And this is Hank Brockman. Okay, anyway, it goes like this now. Whenever we're without love, we know so much about love, promising to change our careless ways. But as soon as we're successful, we become forgetful, taking love for granted every day. When you were in love, the sun was ever brighter. When you were in love, the skies were always clear. When you were in love, everything seemed better. Now all you think about is when you were in love. When you were in love, every night was starry. When you were in love, the moon was always full. When you were in love, life was just a playground. Now all you think about is when you were in love. Learning to love is learning the art of getting out of your own way. The more you think about it, the more you start to doubt it. When will it ever come again your way? It's okay. You wanna be in love, not for just a moment. You wanna be in love more than for all time. You wanna be in love with someone who will love you. Now all you think about is when will that day come true. All you think about is when you were in love. Thank you, folks. Love you, Chuck.
It's Bill Nash. I was just in the wings dancing with my ex-wife. I got a little something to read you now. This is a quote. We give our songs like a present, wrapped up with a bow. Some audiences are ready to receive it. And when the audience receives your gift and gives back to you, you get this kind of circular love exchange going on. You're singing to the audience, they're loving what you're doing, and you're feeling that coming back from them, and it becomes this amazing feedback loop. These are the words of David Glazer. Lived his whole musical life inside that feedback loop. I wanted to take a second to give a shout out to Neil Eckstein, who can't be here tonight. Taking his place, singing a David Glazer song, Raina Rose, Rebecca Loby, Andrew Pressman, and John Elliott.
Hey everybody, I met David Glazer out here in 2009, my first Kerrville, and he's somebody I played a lot with here and at Folk Alliance. And when he came through Austin, the last time I saw him was here in 2017 when he and I played with Dan Navarro, and it's great to come play his song here today, and I'm even wearing his boots. So.
I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder if you're driving on a winding concrete river in a raft of glass and steel. Darkness interrupted by a lonely bright oasis, a full tank and a coffee, and you're back behind the wheel. Long is the road that lies between us. Many are the days since you've been gone. May the angel on your shoulder guide you safely through the night. And may the concrete river bring you home. May the concrete river bring you home. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder if you're sleeping, and what melodies and visions glide across your silver screen. Maybe curled up in the backseat, a few short hours till morning, parked there at a rest stop on the interstate of dreams. Long is the road that lies between us. Many are the days since you've been gone. May the angel on your shoulder guide you safely through the night. And may the concrete river bring you home. May the concrete river bring you home. wonder how you are tonight. I wonder if you're happy. I sing my little prayer and send it out across the miles. I hope you have a special place and people there that love you. And I hope you make it back to them before too long a while. Long is the road that lies between us. Many are the days since you've been gone. May the angel on your shoulder guide you safely through the night. And may the concrete river bring you home. May the concrete river bring you home.
Raina Rose, Rebecca Lovey, Andrew Pressman, John Elliott. Well, Michael Johnson was one of Rod Kennedy's favorite songwriters. I first met him on those Kerrville on the Road shows that Rod used to book way back when. And for a man with hit songs on the radio, he was the most humble guy. He was a brilliant writer, but his best-known song was not one that he wrote himself. It was written by Randy Goodrum. But it went to number 12 on the Billboard charts. And it's a hard, hard song to play. And I was racking my brain, thinking, who can I get to sing this song? And then I thought about this man, my brother from another mother, Vance Gilbert.
Thank you so much. My only memory of Michael is it wasn't here. It was some other festival. I was coming to play and he was leaving, but he stayed long enough to show me just how he approached playing on the nylon string guitar, which is what he played. He didn't play a steel string like many of us do. He was playing a nylon string classical guitar, kind of like Kenny Rankin and Earl Klugh and Kenny Loggins and people like that. And that's where that's kind of where I came out of. And then I switched to steel string because I wanted to make more money. So here we are. And this is Hamp. Thank you, Hamp. After you go and walk around and grieving, after you go, a lot more time for reading. And when you go, I think things will get a whole lot easier. Life will be a breeze now. I really should be glad, but I'm bluer than blue, sadder than sad. You're the only light this empty room has ever had. Life without you is gonna be bluer than blue. After you go, I'll have a lot more room in my closet. After you go, stay out all night long if I feel like it. When you go, I can run through the house. No one else can see me. I really should be glad, 'cause I'm bluer than blue, sadder than sad. You're the only life this empty room has ever had. Life without you is gonna be bluer than blue. 'Cause I'm bluer than blue, sadder than sad. You're the only light this empty room has ever had. And life without you is gonna be bluer than I can watch all my TV shows and start my whole life over, changing numbers on my telephone. But the nights will soon be colder, 'cause I'm bluer than blue, sadder than sad. You're the only life this empty room has ever had. And life without you is gonna be bluer than blue. Bluer than blue. After you go,
Amazing Vance Gilbert, Hamp Brockman. Well, David Olney was a songwriter. He had songs covered by Linda Ronstadt, Steve Earle, and Emmylou Harris, but he also wrote sonnets, and he starred at the Nashville Shakespearean Festival. In his final act, he went out like a true Hollywood star. He was on stage performing, and he stopped in the middle of a song and apologized to everybody, leaned back in his chair and folded his arms and closed his eyes. What a beautiful, poetic way to go out. Here to play one of his best-known songs, Deeper Well, is one of our fastest rising stars, Shannon Address, along with Frevo and Alice Howe.
We want to thank Eliza for picking this song and turning us on to it, and thank you, Alice and Frevo, for helping.
Thanks for having
bring
us,
it to
Shannon.
life.
Great to be here.
Sunburned high to burn my eyes, burned so hot I thought I'd died and gone to hell, looking for the water from a deeper well. So went to the river, but the river was dry. Fell to my knees and I looked to the sky, and the spring rain fell, looking for the water from a deeper well. Well, 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 looking for the water from a deeper well. Well, 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 looking for the water from a deeper well. Well, I fell in love with a baby child. I fell for a touch and I fell for a smile. Smile turned bitter and a touch turned cold. Could not keep what I could not hold. So I ran with the moon and I ran with the night, and the three of us made a terrible sight. Hoard and we gambled with the money we'd steal, looking from the water from a deeper well. Well, 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 looking for the water from a deeper well. Well, 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 looking for the water from from a deeper well.
Well, the moon got weak and he soon was gone, and the night got sick and he died with the dawn. Died with the dawn with a drink in his hand, too sick to walk, too drunk to stand. Time stood still, but I ran wild, got my fill with a crooked smile. Woke up on the door of a jailhouse cell, looking for the water from a deeper well. Well, 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 looking for the water from a deeper well. Well, 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 looking for the water from a deeper well.
The sun burned hot, it burned my eyes, burned so hot I thought I'd died. Thought I'd died and gone to hell, looking for the water from a deeper well. So I went to the river, but the river was dry. I fell to my knees and I looked to the sky. Looked to the sky and the spring rain fell, looking for the water from a deeper well. Well, 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 looking for the water from a deeper well. Well, 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 looking for the water from a deeper well. Well, 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 looking for the water from a deeper well.
Shannon Address, Alice Howe, and Frevo. Well, this next song goes back to 1994 at the festival. In 1994, Glenn and Legina Pilot lost their daughter at Turtle Creek in an accident. Most of us don't know that unique kind of grief that parents carry with them when they lay their children to rest. But there was one songwriter who was able to empathize. Michael Smith wrote a song about August. And here to sing the song that Michael Smith wrote for his daughter is Glenn Pilot. Give him a big hand.
Thank you. Most of you have never seen me hold a guitar before, so it's a complete surprise to all of us. I'm loud and boisterous and unashamed, except for when it comes to playing out. I don't play out. So this is a huge step. If you've seen me with a guitar before, I was either drunk or I was holding somebody's guitar that had to go pee. And I may have been drunk when I agreed to do this. I may be drunk now. So Michael played for us. We had a house concert series in San Antonio. We had 4 different series, but in San Antonio we had urban campfires. Michael played for us that fall in 1994 after the accident. All 3 of the kids were in the accident, and we lost Gus. Jesse's here tonight, and Travis is home watching us on the interwebs. Michael spent a lot of time walking around the house and asking questions and looking at everything and touching things and picking them up, and that was it. And then the next year he came out here to Fest, and he really, really wanted to play us a song. And we had to scramble because he had written the song on piano, and he of course didn't tour with the piano. I never saw Michael play a piano, but he had written a song on piano, so we had to find him a keyboard. So Beth scrounged up Melissa Javer's keyboard for us. I think back then we had to use an extension cord for it. So Melissa is actually our next honoree up here. So he played it for us, and we all sat on a picnic table and cried, and it was an amazing moment. And I was honored that he was willing to share this with me. So let's just see what we can do here. Stuart Addison and Beth Gallagher. They'll make it sound good. summertime has gone, the birds have way moved on. The kids have built a snow swan on the frozen lawn. Every breath's a diamond in the crystal air, and all the trees are naked, huddled cold and bare, whispering of summer's ways, honeysuckle yesterdays, flowers dancing in the breeze. Here's the wisdom of the trees. The coldest winter ever seen could never freeze the memory of August. The woods are still tonight, the clouds in silent rays, the stars so cold and bright, the moon a Buddha face. Out on the snowy hill I see a family of deer. They turn into the wind and then they disappear. Whispering of summer's ways, honeysuckle yesterdays, the trails unwinding in the sun. Here's a secret of the run. They carry with them everyone a sleeping bee, the memory of August. The galaxies revolve, they wheel and dance and spin, and time since time begins again. We circle through the universe in winter beds. We dream we hear the angels singing in our heads, whispering of summer's ways, honeysuckle yesterdays, lemonade and window lace, laughing eyes, a sunburned face, a million winters can't erase for those who see the memory of August. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Glenn Pilot. Amazing that you could sing that song, man. So beautiful. Here's to Gus. Well, Melissa Javers learned how to play on a hand-me-down ukulele and was soon the first one on her block to become a folk singer. She won New Folk in 1981 and promptly started touring and recording, and she toured a lot in Texas and was named the Songwriter of the Year in 1993 in San Antonio. I remember her playing the piano and the dulcimer at Camp Nashville, which no longer exists. but I do remember her as being very playful and very thoughtful. And I loved her presence, which was not hyper or not sad. She was just such a joy to be around. So here to sing Rockabye is Melissa Javers' daughter, Barbara Javers.
Thank you, Tom. So just a few words. My mother said to me at some point later in her life, that she realized the reason why she wrote these songs is that they would be passed down, and her children and her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren would know who she was. And this festival is really special this year for our family because my sister's here for the first time in 20 years, and all of her grandkids are here. So here we go. This is Rockabye. Thank you, Beth.
Hush, little baby, don't you cry. You got everything that money can buy. A VCR and an Apple too. You got MTV to sing to you. The world outside, it's gone insane. It's a real life video game. Star Wars weapons up in space and bombs exploding in your face. So rock bye, baby, in the treetops. When the wind blows, your cradle's gonna rock. Famine on the earth, fire in the sky. This is no time for a lullaby. Summertime and the planet is shaking. At the gates of Kiev, the radiation still high. Daddy fights for peace. Mama's time is all taken. And nobody's hunger is satisfied. So rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetops. When the wind blows, your cradle's gonna rock. Famine on the earth, fire in the sky. This is no time for a lullaby. Well, the human heart seems to be breaking. Yeah, we spread our wings, but we still cannot fly. Somewhere deep within lies the will to awaken. So hush, little baby, don't you cry, yeah.
Thank you.
Barbara Javers doing a song of her mother, Melissa Javers. Well, I swear there must be something in the water in Houston that turns people into songwriting gods, or at least there was at one time. Richard Dobson was part of that outlaw country tribe, came along with Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark, Steve Earle, and Rodney Crowell, who was his roommate for a time. here to sing a song that he co-wrote with Richard Dobson. Please welcome George Ensley.
Thanks, y'all. We're going to get Miss Beth Gallagher out here to help us out, too. And maybe Kristen DeWitt to sing a little bit. Yeah, Richard was those of you who aren't familiar with him, he was a writer's writer. Even though he was quite well educated, when he went to do a day gig, it was usually on a shrimp boat or an offshore rig or tending horses in a stable. But he was always writing. The last thing he wrote was his first work of fiction, which was a novel about a true story about a couple that got separated in the hurricane of 1900 in Galveston. It's a beautiful piece of work. It was published posthumously. But he also wrote about his travels with Townes Van Zandt and the Gulf Coast Boys. And back in the day, he had what they called the Poor Richard Almanac, and he would actually mail out newsletters periodically, little pieces about his life, his experiences, and his travels, and his loves. We wrote this song together after he'd moved to Switzerland, but he would come back about once a year, and we'd sit down when he came back and whittle on the song a little bit. We had to find a meeting of the minds because Richard was a Buddhist. I'm a Christian. So we tried to find a middle ground that had a universal message. I asked for strength and I got troubles to get me straight and strong. I asked for wisdom and I got problems, taught me right from wrong. I asked for courage and I got dangers to get me through my fears. I asked for answers and I got silence that taught me how to hear. I asked for love and I got strangers who needed a helping hand. I asked for mercy and I got an old friend who needed another chance. I asked for beauty and I got to see the world through the eyes of a child. I asked for understanding. I got to see an old one smile. I got the world in a raindrop, the promise in a seed. I got all I wanted when I got all I need. When I ask for years, I got moments instead. When I ask for a feast, got my daily bread. I ask for wealth, and I got work, and the hands to make my pay. I ask for truth, I got a lady stands beside me all the way. I got the world in a raindrop, and promise in a seed. I got all I wanted when I got all I need. I got all I wanted and I got all I need.
George Ensley, Beth Gallagher, Ham Brockman, and Kristen DeWitt. Well, I could write a book about the woman who wrote this next song, and it's the last song of this set, after which we'll take a 10-minute break. 10 minutes. But there's somebody even more qualified to introduce this last song than me. Please welcome Reva Hayman's daughter, Judy Hayman.
Thank you. Hi, Kerrville. My parents love this place. Thank you.
Check.
Thank you. Vic and Reva Hayman really believed in kindness and generosity, and they left their mark everywhere they went, including the food pavilion, which has a very understated sign I was just admiring this weekend. It was just like them, humble, just leaving their mark to let you know that there was love and support there. And I've had several people remind me this weekend of all the ways they lent their time, love, or money to help make their dreams come true and maybe believe more in you than you did in yourself when you really needed it. One of the artists they really showed that love to is also no longer with us, Rachel Bissix. She wrote a beautiful song in tribute to my parents called Just Like That, and here to perform it is Siobhan Quinn and Michael Bowers.
Thanks, Judy. Yeah, you can't walk the ranch without seeing the influence of Reva Hayman and Vic. And you, if you are in the meadow, lower meadow at 2 a.m. sometimes, I think you still hear Rachel singing. Sometimes you give tribute with tears and sometimes with music, and I'm not sure which it's going to be for us yet, but we'll find out.
When a young woman falls, do you pick her up? When a young man is lost, do you show him the way? When a dreamer's dream is gone, do you help them see they gotta have a dream to get them through each day? I know some people just like that. They give the shirt right off their back. Yeah, they're just like that. When you find the girl you love, do you steal her away? When you
a man that's right for you, do you marry him that day? When you have more than you need, do you spread the rest around? Be it time, be it money, be it love. I know some people just like that. They give the shirt right off their back. Yeah, they're just like that. When they reach out, the heavens open, and the sun pours down upon your face. When their heart speaks, the doorway opens, and you're welcome into a loving place. When 50 years go by, does it feel like two? You share every moment. Do you always speak the truth? When you go out to a show, do you dress like twins? When his hand is shaking, do you put yours in his? I know some people just like that. They give the shirt right off their back. Yeah, they're just like that. Sing it with us, please. I know some people just like that. They give the shirt right off their back. Yeah, they're just like that. You sing it. People just like that. They give the shirt right off their back. Yeah, they're just like that. Yeah, they're just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Just like
Michael Bowers and Siobhan Quinn, thank you so much. The memory of Rachel Visix and Reba Heyman. So we have a really amazing lineup for our second set. But before we do, we have a very special guest that I want to invite up to say a few words. This day is a somber day. It's a day we remember our veterans and those who sacrificed their lives for our country. And we can do that here at the Kerrville Folk Festival. So here to help remind us of what that's all about is Big Joe Montgomery.
What an evening. Wow. I want to remember Paul Papa Smurf Fleming. He used to check us in at Staff Central daily. This was many years ago. Papa Smurf passed away about 20 years ago. But he was smart, he was fast, he helped move our system into the new age of computers. He did his first with pencil and paper, and I wondered how he did it. He was a terrific friend, a good conversationist. How many times we sat and talked. And I asked him, how in the heck do you keep up with all that? And he said, I learned it in the Army. We went from there, and I was privileged that he shared a tender story with me, one that reflected where his personality, his Kerrville personality came from. He was a sergeant in the Army during the Vietnam conflict, but he was stationed stateside, and he only had a few months left until his enlistment was up, and he was going home. And he heard and got word that his brother his younger brother, had just been drafted, was going to officer candidate school, and was then being transferred to school for forward artillery observer. And anybody here that knows anything about that knows that that lifespan is measured in minutes. So he went to his commanding officer and said, "I will extend my enlistment if you'll give me immediate orders to Vietnam." And he told him what he wanted to do it for. The Army would not place two brothers in the conflict area at the same time. And it was fixed. His brother was transferred to be a teacher, and he went to Vietnam. I appreciate the privilege of working here at Kerrville among so many wonderful people that have hearts exactly like Paul's. And I've been able to meet them, know them, and love them for so many years now. This is my 40th year, by the way, to be to be on and serving on staff. I remember Paul tonight. He was truly his brother's keeper.
Let's hear it one more time for Big Joe. All right. So my first day on the ranch 29 years ago, I heard there was this place called the Ballad Tree where you could go during the hottest part of the day and sing a song to a group of very sweaty and obviously insane listeners. It was up on that hill that I first caught a glimpse of our next performer, who I consider to be a modern-day prophet. Please give a big hand to Chris Chandler.
May the work I've done speak for me. May the work I've done speak for me when I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing left to say. May the work I've done speak for me.
It is Memorial Day. And I believe that on Memorial Day, it is important that we honor, celebrate, and lay wreaths upon the tombs of our fallen military veterans. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, it is altogether fitting and proper that we do so. It is also important to recognize that, at least by odds, inside the tomb of the unknown soldier lay a conscript. Throughout human history, poor people have been drafted to fight in a rich man's fight, and I hate that. That is why today on Memorial Day, I think of the conscripts forced to fight, economic conscripts caught between incarceration and Kandahar, bankruptcy and Baghdad. They are martyrs too, no doubt, and they should be honored. And I bring up conscripts because so many of our military campaigns have been dubious at best, whereas our campaigns for peace, justice, and equality have been some of our greatest achievements as a nation. Won not by soldiers in the battlefield, but by activists in the streets. And there are often casualties, real casualties, sacrifice. Which is why on Memorial Day, it is important to remember that there are many ways to die in the service of your country. Rarely have our military operations or a politician benevolently legislated positive change. Positive change needs to be demanded by those in the streets, our veterans. Yes, our veterans for peace and justice. And many people in the United States have taken on battles that are just, proper, and good. The fight for the 8-hour day, the fight for child labor laws, the fight for women's suffrage, the fight for civil rights, the anti-war movement, the fight for gay rights, the fight for trans rights, the fight for immigrant rights, the fight for police reform, the fight for women's reproductive rights, the fight for gun control. That is why on Memorial Day, I remember not only our fallen veterans of war, but I also remember Sacco and Vanzetti, Joe Hill and John Brown, August Spies and Albert Parsons and the other Haymarket martyrs. They are veterans who died in the service of their country. I remember Emily Davidson, who in 1913 martyred herself in a hunger strike as a protest for the women's right to vote. She is a veteran who died in the service of her country. And more recently, I remember Rachel Corrie. I remember Allison Krauss, Jeffrey Miller, and Sandra Schroeder, and William Shore, who were killed at Kent State. They are veterans who died in the service of their country. I remember James Earl Chaney, Andrew Goodwin, and Michael Henry Schwarmer, young civil rights activists who were murdered to prevent them from doing their work. They are veterans who died in the service of their country. And even more recently, I have included in this list 5 U.S. Americans that have been killed since 2020, raising their voices against a discriminate constabulary and demanding police reform. It is a long list. And as I drove here, I just got to the ranch, and as I drove here from the San Antonio airport, I noticed all the flags at half-mast. And I wish to say that I have not included the names of the victims of gun violence, nor the heroes that gave their lives trying to save those victims, but I have included the names of activists that have given their lives, raising their voice in an effort to change this nation's gun laws. Gun laws that have spawned a very recent incident that makes the whole world cringe. The murder of innocent children on a scale that makes all of human history blush at the inhumanity that Americans inflict upon other Americans. And it is not our gun lobbies, nor our gun manufacturers, nor our regulators that have caused this horrific episode. It is yours, mine, our silence that has begot this atrocity. It is the activist that ends that silence. No, I can't name them all. And there are countless activists who have died in the line of duty, which is why I ask on this Memorial Day for a monument to be erected in Washington, D.C., the tomb of the unknown activist. And on this day, Memorial Day, I asked Joe Biden to lay a wreath in Utah where Joe Hill was killed by firing squad. Don't mourn, organize, he said. And on this Memorial Day, I asked Dr. Jill Biden to lay a wreath for the victims of the hunger strikes of the suffragettes. She could not have voted for her husband without them. They are veterans who died in the service of their country. And I have a list of activists that have died in the service of this country, our country. And I asked Joe Montgomery back to the stage, who is a veteran, who served this country as well as this festival, to bring me that list. The list is very long. I cannot read them all. But I will pick 3 at random to represent the whole. And I'm going to pass out the remainder to you. If you get one of these and you don't know of the incident that I refer, please look it up on Memorial Day to reflect upon the significance to the American way, for they are veterans who died in the service of their country. I remember that on August 19th, 1916, strike breakers hired by the Everett Mills owned and attacked the picketing strikers in Everett, Washington. Local police watched and refused to intervene. In response, the IWW called for a meeting, and when the Union men arrived, they were fired upon. 7 were killed, 50 were wounded, and an indeterminate number wound up missing. I remember the Battle of Everett. I remember that on July 22nd, 1916, a bomb was set off during a Preparedness Day parade in San Francisco, killing 10 and injuring 40 more. Thomas J. Mooney, a labor organizer, and Warren K. Billings, a shoemaker, were convicted. They were both pardoned in 1939. They were veterans who gave their lives to this country. And finally, I remember the first openly gay politician to hold elective office was assassinated in 1978 after passing stringent pro-gay policies. I remember Harvey Milk, a veteran who died in the service of his country.
May the work I've done speak for me. May the work I've done speak for me. Oh, when I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing left to say, may the work I've done speak for me.
That list is far from complete. There is no way it could be. It's by no means all of them, but it is important that on Memorial Day, we remember them all. For to paraphrase Utah Phillips, who performed on this very stage, the most dangerous thing in the world is a long memory. And that is exactly what Memorial Day is, a long memory. Thank you very much. I ended that passage with a quote from Utah Phillips. Utah Phillips also said that the woman that we're going to honor next was the greatest labor singer in North America. And she was a lifelong activist who used her music for change. If there was an issue that happened during her lifetime, she was hip deep in it. And here to remember her is her daughter, who is also in many ways following her footsteps, using music to promote positive change for the most underserved in the Austin community. And she is also hosting shows here at the festival at the Moon Tower. Please welcome my friend. I'm sure that Ann would be very proud of her. I am very proud of her, and I'm sure that you are very proud of her. Please welcome Amy Sue Berlin.
Well, it's hard to walk a foot on this ranch without somebody coming up to me and talking about my mom. So thank you all for keeping her here with me, and she's here, obviously, everywhere on this ranch. This is Raina Rose, Benny, Emmett, Andrew Pressman, John Elliott.
All right. Yeah?
Yeah, we ready? Was it Cesar Chavez, or maybe it was Dorothy Day? Some say Dr. King or Gandhi set them on their way. No matter who your mentors are, you been to jail for justice? You're in good company.
Have you been to jail for justice? I want to shake your hand. Sitting in and lying down are ways to take a stand. Have you sung a song for freedom or marched that picket line? Have you been to jail for justice? Oh, you're a friend of mine.
You law-abiding citizens, listen to this song. Laws were made by people, but people can be wrong. Once unions were against the law, but slavery was fine. Women were denied the vote and children worked the mine. The more you study history, the less you can deny it. A rotten law stays on the books till folks like us defy it.
Have you been to jail for justice? I want to shake your hand. Sitting in and lying down are ways to take a stand. Have you sung a song for freedom or marched that picket line? Have you been to jail for justice? Oh, you're a friend of mine.
Well, the law is supposed to serve us, and so are the police. But when the system fails, it's up to us to speak our piece. It takes eternal vigilance for justice to prevail. So get courage from your convictions, let them haul you off to jail.
Have you been to jail for justice? I want to shake your hand. Sitting in and lying down are ways to take a stand. Have you sung a song for freedom or marched that picket line? Have you been to jail for justice? Oh, you're a friend of mine.
Sing it again, Grand Queenie. If you love her, come on.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Have you been to jail for justice? I want to shake your hand. Sitting in and lying down are ways to take a stand. Have you sung a song for freedom or marched that picket line? Have you been to jail for justice? Will you go to jail for justice? Have you been to jail for justice? Oh, you're a friend of mine.
Thank you, Amy Suberlin and the whole crew. So I'm not TPR, I'm PPR. And I'm going to take a little bit longer on this intro, for which I'll probably get scolded by my brother later. But this is a song that almost all of you know, by a man who most of you love, about a man that none of us ever met. George Floyd died at the hands of police on May 25, 2020. And after that, the subsequent rioting in Minneapolis, the protests, the long work of the people who had already been engaged in that community made me think of 5 years and 1 month earlier, in April 2015, when a young man in my beloved Sandtown neighborhood of West Baltimore, Freddie Gray, died in police custody. And it reminded me of the uprising and the civil unrest that followed, including the burning of the CVS where I got my prescriptions. A few days after George Floyd's death, many of us saw TPR's Facebook post. He said he was watching news of the riots in Minneapolis and the song started coming to him. He paid attention to it and wrote it down, and he didn't let his pen stop. And he pointed to a picture of Rachel Bissix over his shoulder, saying she was looking over him. But then he also said that he was not in good form because he was towards the end of his chemo treatment. What you heard was my brother's heart, which so many of you know is made of gold, pure gold. But this song is also a prophetic lament of injustice, and it's a call inviting us to do something about it. Since then, over 200 artists, many of you here, have covered this song and shared it even further. My brother has heard the stories of my community development work in Sandtown for 25 years, and he has supported me and welcomed my friends in. But watching him sing this song on that Facebook post showed me how much he understood. At the end of the song, there's imagery and symbolism of communion, which says that when you take something in, it becomes a part of you, and that it is inviting you to keep living it out in the flesh. We can do this in remembrance of George Floyd, Freddie Gray, Breonna Taylor, and so many others. Let's each carry this heart of gold like TPR and do our part to fight for love and justice. During some of these last 3 years, I wasn't sure if Tom would be one of the artists that we'd be honoring on a night like this. I'm so thankful that he's here and that he's the one helping to lead us. Please welcome my big brother, Tom Prasada-Rao, with $20 bill for George Floyd.
Now I'm not going to be able to sing this song. Some people die for honor. Some people die for love. Some people die while singing to the heavens above. Some people die believing in the cross on Calvary Hill. Some people die in the blink of an eye for a $20 bill. Some people go out in glory. Yeah, with the wind at their back. Some get to tell their own story, write their own epitaph. Sometimes you see it coming. Sometimes you don't know until you run out of breath, the knee on your neck for a $20 bill. Oh, brother, I never knew you. Now I never will. Oh, but I make this promise to you. I'll remember you still. Take, eat. This is the body. It's time to break the bread. Do this in remembrance, just like the good book said. Sometimes the wine is a sacrament. Sometimes the blood is just spilled. Sometimes the law is the devil's last straw, the future unfulfilled. Like the dream they killed. Ooh. so much, guys. Thank you. Well, for our next song, I'm not going to really move much. I'm going to move, but Eric's going to stay here. Hugh McGowan was a chef and a bartender, which quite naturally made him a very, very fine musician. He was a native of Boston and a summer resident of Ireland, as well as the hinterlands of Quiet Valley Ranch. Hugh was a sweet and gentle soul, and his kindness was reflected in his mentoring of aspiring musicians and young chefs. Here to perform an original song that he wrote for Hugh McGowan is my amazingly talented friend and brother, Eric Schwartz.
Thank you, Tom. You said everything I was going to say. Literally, I was just going to say Hugh was so known and beloved, Crow's Nest to Chapel Hill, and a beautiful singer-songwriter who I think never really got his due because he was just that good. And he ran an open mic in Boston and was much beloved because he was loving. He welcomed everybody. He made everybody feel special. He made everybody feel good enough. And he just did amazing things. And it so happens today would have been his 52nd birthday. So I wrote this when I found out that he passed. The train has left the station. It's rolling down the track. You're leaning out the window waving. The platform's full of people waving back. Some who called you brother, some who share their hearts with you, and you're surprised to discover there are some you barely knew, and you might not understand this, but how I wish you could let this moment be your memory. You done good. In your passing is a lesson for those you left behind. There is no love without expression, just a feeling undefined. And I know it's far too easy to forget to make a call. Well, I just pray somebody told you what you've given to us all. With the tapestry you woven, with your loom of wire and wood, and the colors you have chosen, you done good. If you'd never played a song for us, if you'd never sung a note, we'd recall your gentle kindness, the sweetness of your soul. And ever shall that echo as we gather round the flame, as it rises through the Texas sky, and someone says your name. So hear the roaring of the crowd. Take a moment, take a bow, and send a wink into the wings so we know it's understood. You left this world a little better. Brother, you done good. Oh, you left this world a little better. You done good.
Man, wasn't that gorgeous? It's Eric Schwartz. Well, I first met Susan Lindquist Taylor a long, long time ago in another life, it feels like. And she was a singer-songwriter just like the rest of us, making the rounds and doing the hard work. Tonight, we're going to honor Eric Taylor. Eric Taylor was a storyteller who just happened to be one of the best damn songwriters in the whole world. He was deep in his and he was dark, and his songs had layers to them that you could peel away one by one as soon as you discovered the truth of that layer. He was one of Texas' homegrown sons who went on to great things, touring all over America and Europe, and tons of people recorded his songs, including Lyle Lovett and Nancy Griffith. And he was a frequent performer here at Kerrville. So here to play one of Eric Taylor's songs is his wife, Susan Lindquist Taylor.
Thank you. Eric Taylor, he grew up in a horrible childhood, very abusive parents, older brother, just kind of terrorized him for years. Later on, a stepfather. And I was so thankful, I met him long after that, but I suppose, a lot of times people come, go down that same road, and I'm so thankful that he didn't. He was such a beautiful person. His father's name was Charlie Taylor, and then Charlie's best friend was Ray McWhite. And I first met Eric in 1987, and through mutual friends, Doug Hudson, Denise Frankie, here at Kerrville. Yeah. And I had bought Eric's 1981 vinyl record, Shameless Love. And I pretty much wore the grooves off of that record. I just played it over and over. I think I did wear the grooves off of it, and then I bought another one. Anyway, so this song is on it. It's Charlie Ray McWhite. He was coughing and cold and crazy in the rain. I wish I had the sense to ask his name. When I think back on it now, cross my mind. But the man I was looking for
the truth beneath his eyes. Standing there in broken shoes that leaked along the sides. And he had his Florida road map folded down in the pocket of his raincoat, you know, the plastic kind. Well, the streets are raging river when it rains, and that lamppost is just a lighthouse dressed in pain. Anybody here seen Charlie? Young boy says he knows him. No sir, we ain't seen him none today. Silver airstream stained in rusty chrome, knocked upon that trailer door, found nobody home. I could smell 6 months of drunk and dirty clothes. Must have been 50 empty bottles filling sacks beside the door. Kicked around inside for just a while, wondering why I was going to all this trouble anyhow. From the looks of things, he ain't been around for days. What the hell, man, just forget it. I was curious anyway. The streets are raging river when it rains, and that lamppost is just a lighthouse dressed in pain. Anybody here seen Charlie? Young boy says he knows him. No sir, we ain't seen him none today. I heard footsteps on the front steps just behind me. She said, this one ain't for rent, son, but I've got one down the line. Well, God damn it to hell, this place smells. Got some work to do, but you don't know how glad I am to be shed that old fool. Asked her what she meant, she said, did she went to work pulling dirty sheets off a dirty bed. And she said his name was Charlie Ray McWhite. He died in Pensacola, Florida, a week ago last night. The streets are raging river when it rains, and the lamppost is just a lighthouse dressed in pain. Anybody here seen Charlie? Young boy says he knows him. No sir, we ain't seen him none today. had a doubt that we'd tell you anyway. So it's and it's Okay, sing with me. Sing with me. And it's and it's Thank you.
Susan Lindhurst Taylor. It's been too long, Susan. We need to hear you. Well, Guy Clark was one of those Texas outlaws that did good, actually. He had an insane list of people covering his songs, including Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash. He won a Grammy Award in 2014 for his album, My Favorite Picture of You. Many of his proteges have graced the stage here at the Kerrville Folk Festival, become major artists in their own right. Here to do a song that Guy and Susanna Clark wrote about Townes Van Zandt. Please welcome Bill and Mary Muse.
He's a black-haired boy of some confusion. He makes no excuse for the things that he's losing. He's gentle and wild, a child of the mountain. His words are for singing, his days are for counting. He's looking for a home. He's scared to find some lady beside him, and he's drunk on white wine. He's a devil in the morning and a savior at night. Tomorrow's a case of whatever's right. Lonesome and high are the things that he feels. The cards that he plays are the ones that he deals. He's looking for a home. He's scared to find some lady beside him, and he's drunk on white wine. Some lady beside him, and he's drunk on white wine. He's one of the chances you're entitled to take. He's one of the hearts that it's too late to break. I've seen him be sad and never know why. Seen him fall down to laugh, seen him stand up to cry. He's looking for a home. He's scared to find some lady beside him, and he's drunk on white wine. Some lady beside him, and he's drunk on white wine. Sing it with us. He's looking for a home. He's scared to find some lady beside him, and he's drunk on white wine. Some lady beside
beside him, and he's drunk on white wine.
Jimmy LaFave had one of those transcendent voices that soared higher in the atmosphere than the rest of us mortals. Some nights out here on the ranch, you can still hear him singing. You won't know the words, most likely. We never really did. But it never ever mattered. It was his voice that spoke volumes. A shout out to Amelia Spicer, who couldn't make it here to sing this song. But we're in luck that our dear friend Kristen DeWitt stepped in. Here's Only One Angel.
Hello.
Only One Angel.
So, yes, I want to make it very clear that by rights this should be Amelia Spicer's slot, and I know that she is heartbroken not to be here. So, Amelia, if you're watching, we love you and we miss you, and I'll do my best. For my part, my experience with Jimmy, in fact, is that he was the first singer-songwriter that I ever saw play live. A friend took me to see him at the Chicago House when he was playing, and you know, it was early 90s, and he was just out there on that little bitty stage. I don't know if you remember the Chicago House. It had like stadium seating. And so he's down, and he had a stool, and he played his guitar, and he never looked up. And I was mesmerized by someone who never bothered to look at the audience at that point. He completely drew us all in. And this song is actually one of the first songs of his that I ever heard. And that was sort of like the beginning of my journey into this lovely world that we have here. So I'm honored to get to sing it.
I could fly through a midnight rain, be safe and warm and dry, babe, at the mention of your name, and always sing a special song. Know deep inside that spirit, honey, nothing could go wrong if you got to know pulling me through. I have only one angel, babe. My one angel is you. I could run across the desert wind till the day would leave me breathless, babe, searching for words again and hope that you hear that sound. Streams of magic colors that are painted across the ground. Got to know what's pulling me through. I have only one angel, babe. My one angel is you. Take you with me like a charm. Keep me in the good light, safe from harm. You chase the dark clouds far away. You keep my feet from turning into clay. could sing out a melody. Do you think if the word got out there, the circle would reach to me and cross that line from a distant land where the silver strings that ring my frets are played by ancient hands? If you want to know what's pulling me through, I have only one angel, babe. My one angel is you. I have only one angel, babe. My one angel is you.
It's Kristen DeWitt for Jimmy LaFave.
That's good.
For Tom?
Hello, there we go. Well, there's so much I could say about this next performer. He's one of my favorite people in the whole world, one of the best damn songwriters I've ever written with. But there's somebody I know who's got a really great story to introduce this song. Please welcome 2004 New Folk winner, Carrie Cooper.
Hi, y'all. Well, in about 1991, I think, I was introduced to the music of Nancy Griffith, long before I'd ever heard of the Kerrville Folk Festival or knew this beautiful community. But to say that I was obsessed with Nancy Griffith would be an understatement. I knew every lyric to every song. I owned every CD. And I heard she was coming to play in Dallas, Texas at the Majestic Theater in 1991, and I thought, I have to go. And so I bought a ticket, I showed up at the concert, could not wait to hear my favorite singer sing, and all of a sudden they introduced this opening act by the name of Tom Kimmel. And I was like, who the heck is this guy? I just want to hear Nancy Griffith. He sang a few songs, and I'm like, okay, he's all right. And I'm looking at my watch, like, how much longer is he going to sing for? And then on his very last song, he said, I'd like to bring out my fiancée, Nancy Griffith. And she came out, and he had his guitar strapped on, and somehow she managed to weasel up in between him and the guitar, and he was playing the guitar with her inside it, and they were singing with each other, and I thought, okay, this Tom Kimmel guy's all right. I like him. So here's that guy, Tom Kimmel, singing a Nancy Griffith song.
That is one unique introduction right there. Well, you know, there's a lot I could say about Nancy. It's hard to know exactly what would be the right thing. I could get started and it'd be hard to stop. And I just want to say that I'm really grateful for the time I had with her. She had a profound effect on me personally and professionally. She was a unique, brilliant, funny, generous, challenging, complex woman, and she affected a lot of people with her music. And she will always have a place in my heart. This is a song of hers that I've always loved. It was on an album of hers called Little Love Affairs. Oh, I wish it would rain and wash my face clean. Wanna find some dark cloud to hide in here. Oh, love in a memory sparkles like diamonds, and when the diamonds fall, they burn like tears. diamonds fall, they burn like tears. Once I had a love from the Georgia pines who only cared for me. I want to find that love at 22, here at 33. Have a heart on my right and one on my left, but neither one suits my needs. 'Cause the one I love is way out west, and he never will need me. Oh, I wish it would rain and wash my face clean. I want to find some dark cloud and hide in here. Oh, love in a memory sparkles like diamonds, and when the diamonds fall, darling, they burn like tears. When the diamonds fall, they burn like tears. I'm gonna pack up my two-stepping shoes and head to the Gulf Coast plain. I wanna walk the streets of my own hometown where everybody knows my name. Wanna ride the waves down in Galveston when the hurricanes blow in. 'Cause that Gulf Coast, the water tastes sweet as wine when your heart's rolling home in the wind. Oh, I wish it would rain and wash my face clean. Wanna find some dark cloud and hide in here. Oh, love in a memory sparkles like diamonds, and when the diamonds fall, they burn like tears. When the diamonds fall, darling, they burn like tears. When the diamonds fall, they burn like tears.
That is Tom frickin' Kimmel, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're coming up on the end of our night together, and I want to thank you so much for sharing this time with all of us here and for creating this opportunity for us to remember all our loved ones. If after the show, in the next few days, you might want to get a closer look at this banner right here, because some of your loved ones' names are probably on them. And I just wanted to give you a heads up. At the end of the night, for a brief few seconds, we're going to turn the lights out so you can see these luminaries the way they're supposed to see, the way you're supposed to see them. Well, no night like this would ever be complete without a John Prine song. And I think I don't think he ever played at Kerrville, did he? Did John Prine? He's still a part of us because every night around the campfires you can hear a John Prine song over there, over there, over there. And he informs everything that we do about songs as songwriters. When we were initially putting together a list of songs and people that we wanted to fill out this night, my first thought was Angel from Montgomery, and my second thought was Kira Small.
Thank you, my friend. I can't claim John Prine any more than any of us can claim John Prine, but we all claim John Prine. I did have an interesting John Prine experience when I was boarding a flight in Florida, I think, to go back to Nashville. And I was in the A group, and he was in the B group, and it was really fucking weird. I was like, sorry, I don't know. But I cut my teeth playing in a piano bar in Austin called Don's Depot. Yeah. I played every Thursday night for 5 years, and if you've been there, you know Tammy, the server who's still there. Tammy used to ask for this song, and that's how I learned it, and I started closing every night with it, and I still do anytime I go back and play there. I close the show with this song, and I was so touched when Tom asked me to do this, and it's an extra special treat to get to do this with Freebo. Yeah. And these guys, too, these amazing dudes. But Freebo was on the record that I listened to a squillion million times. Joe's gonna sing with us, and Hamp's gonna play. Goes like this.
I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man was another child that's grown old. Years of thunder, lightning was desired. This old house wanna burn down a long time ago. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living's just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, thought I had me a cowboy. He wasn't much to look at, just a free rambling man. There was a long time, no matter how I tried. Years just flow by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Flies in the kitchen, I can hear them there buzzing. I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening and have nothing to say? From Montgomery, make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Come on, y'all sing it now. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Yeah. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing. Just give me one thing that I can hold on Lord, you know to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Yeah. Make me an angel flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living, well, it's just a hard way to go. Let the church say amen. Thank you, John.
I've been to church, I don't know about you. It's Kira Small, Preload, Joe Jenks, Hamp Brockman. Well, we have come down to our last song of the evening. River, take me along, in your sunshine, sing me your song. Ever moving and winding and free, you rollin', old river, you changin', old river. Let's you and me, river, run down to the sea. Nancy Griffith called Bill Staines the Woody Guthrie of our generation. He wrote songs that were deceptively simple and immediately singable. He was a championship yodeler from New Hampshire who appeared on Prairie Home Companion, wrote songs for Peter, Paul, and Mary. Here to take us home with Bill's song River is Joe Jenks.
Thank you. A lot of us first heard Bill's music, somebody that I was privileged and delighted to call a mentor and a friend. A lot of us first heard Bill's music when we went to summer camps, and we learned, all God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing high and some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or pause. They're anything they got now. So Bill was equally comfortable talking to young people and to adults, but as a person who grew up with that music, it took me a while to figure out the layers of nuance and sophistication that were in his songs, things that a young person doesn't quite get. And the beautiful thing about Bill's music are like rings on a tree. Within each song is every incarnation of the writer that Bill was at every stage of his life, but each one builds outward in a concentric circle as he grew and learned and shared that wisdom through his music with the rest of us. So as we bring the evening to a close and remember so many extraordinary people, not just the musicians that we're honoring overtly and specifically this evening, but all of the losses that all of us have experienced in the last 2.5 years. Sing this song with us, please. River, take me along. I was born in the path of the winter wind and raised where the mountains are rolled. Their springtime waters came dancing down. I remember the tales they told, those whistling ways of my younger days too quickly have faded on by. But all of their memories linger on like the light from the fading sky. Rivers, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song, ever moving, winding and free. You roll an old river, you change an old river. Let's you and me, river, run down to the sea. Well, I've been to the city and back again. I've been moved by some things that I've learned. Met a lot of good people and I've called them friends. Felt the change when the seasons turn. I've heard all the songs that the children sing. I've listened to love's melodies. I felt my own music within me rise, like the wind through the autumn leaves. River, rivers, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song, ever moving, winding and free. You roll an old river, you change an old river. Let's you and me, river, run down to the sea.
when the flowers are blooming still, someday when the grass is still green, my rolling waters will round the bend and flow out into the open sea. So here's to the rainbow that's followed me here, and here's to the good friends I know, and here's to the song that's within me now. I will sing it wherever I go. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song, ever moving, winding and free. You rolling, oh river, you changing, oh river. Let's you and me, river, run down to the sea. River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song, ever moving, winding and free. You rolling, oh river, you changing, oh river. Let's you and me, river, run down to the sea.
That's beautiful. Everybody, let's sing it one more time.
River, take me along in your sunshine. Sing me your song, ever moving, winding and free. You rolling, oh river, you changing, oh river. Let's you and me, river, run down to the sea.
Thank you, Tom, for planning tonight.
May the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
On a cold and cloudy day, when I saw that undertaker come to carry my mother away, well, that circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a told that undertaker, please drive slow, for that woman that you're carrying, Lord, I hate to see her go. May the circle be unbroken. May the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by
behind. Tried to hold up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow and it laid in that grave. The circle, we unrolled and by Lord, by and by, there's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
There's a better home awaiting. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Be good to yourselves, everybody. Good night. Thank you for coming.
There's going to be a special recognition for Reba at the Rouse House concert. If you want to come by the Rouse House tent for Reba Heyman. And thank you, Tom, for planning this evening and setting it up. Thank you. Please come and collect the luminaries that you signed for your loved ones, for your friends. Please take them back to your camp. We want you to be able to take those with you this evening.